Imagine, Courtney, the energy it takes to get under a car, stay quiet for hours, and hide from police. Now, this tight spot might seem perfect until an officer with 4 legs and a nose close to the ground sniffs you out. A man found out in the end where it bit him. Yeah, they are, Courtney, and this is the truck. You know, things look fine on the outside, but check out the inside, and you'll find a whole other story, and you'll get a whiff of something awful. But the man who owns this truck and the owner of the shop right here, they hope surveillance cameras on the building will help catch the arsonist. Courtney and Steve, the dome is stripped of all naming rights, and right now, not a lot is happening there, but there's a possibility a professional team could soon welcome you back inside. Emily and Courtney, I just got on the scene about a couple of minutes ago. Hadn't been able to talk officially with the person who's able to give us the confirmed information, but according to the social media post from the St. Louis Fire Department, we know that one person is dead. Again, this is in the 7800 block. Steve, right here near the intersection of Illinois and Potomac, barricades are now in place, warning drivers and walkers about a danger, one that not many people knew about until a big yellow bus rolled up right here. Right here, Lauren and Steve, where you see this bus stop knocked down on Good near Maple is where police say Joshua Harper crashed the car taken from Arthur Hodges. Police also say Harper killed Hodges during a carjacking. Right now, Courtney, the people driving and walking through this St. Anne neighborhood are fed up with these barricades, the cones, and the construction equipment you see off in the distance. So much of it has been in the same spot since earlier this year, but yesterday it began to move. And that's because we showed up with our cameras and called MSD. Airman Miles told me the snake pulled from her apartment measured about 1.5 feet, but that might not be true because this snake that I just bought measures about 1 foot, and the picture from Araminta shows a snake that's way bigger. But in case you're thinking about getting this snake or any other snake, there are some things you should know. A Chesterfield police sergeant told me thieves are taking all kinds of things from all types of stores like Walmart, including soap, deodorant, lotion, and toothpaste. In October, they arrested 24 people and recovered about $15,000 in stolen property.
911.
A woman standing on a restaurant counter, a man eager to help her down. This video recorded seconds after a minivan driver plowed into Lisa's Chop Suey on Jennings Station Road. Employees and customers don't remember how the woman behind the wheel was acting. St. Louis County Police took her into custody on suspicion of DWI. A man and a 6-year-old girl were hit as the woman tore through the restaurant. Amy Earl was feet away from the car's resting spot.
I was taking an order, and all of a sudden we heard this crash and we saw debris flying, and then the counter started mushing. It was just very scary. I mean, it looked like a tornado, you know, with all the debris flying.
Rising smoke from the minivan and that child became the big concern.
Prayers go out to those that are all affected. You know, we're very sorry and we hope to rebuild.
Victor Tan, who co-owns the restaurant, gave News 4 an up-close look at the rubble.
I was terrified. I was hurt because it's the holiday season.
Police tell News 4 the man and little girl are family. He is that girl's grandfather, and tonight, doctors say both are expected to be okay. Reporting live in Jennings, Venton, Blandin, News 4.
News 4's Venton Blandin is in Wellston with details on a story you'll see only on News 4.
Right now, Claire and Courtney, hundreds of cars are passing Page Boulevard near Hamilton Avenue. And we talked with a man who said he was just one of those cars yesterday when he became an unintended target.
Just a random act of violence, just careless.
Joseph Best was driving down Page Avenue Wednesday
To avoid the traffic because the rain, interstates were backed up. It's about 5:45.
He was out grabbing dinner and needed to save time.
As I'm going down, I hear a loud boom, and it sounds like a massive rock hit me or a piece of hail, so I'm looking for hail. There's no hail.
St. Louis was under a thunderstorm warning at the time, but Best says it wasn't a storm. He realized the red truck was unusually close to his minivan and speeding away from him.
Oncoming traffic is coming and they're going in the same direction. And I just started putting all the pieces together. I stopped at the Quick Trip just up the street here.
That's when he found the bullet hole.
Take a look there. It's, it's as clear as day, and you see it's pretty close from the window. And the scary part is that's daughter likes to sit in the third row.
Life for the father of a 9-year-old could have changed forever had the bullet hit a couple of inches to the left.
It's horrible. So now I'm making her sit in the front seat going forward. She's not allowed to sit in the back anymore.
A North County Police Cooperative investigator took Best to report, but he and Best are not optimistic anyone will be caught. By the way, Mr. Best plans to remove the panel inside his car to look for that bullet. Reporting live in St. Louis, Venton, Blandin, News 4.
No idea, man. I was just stupid, I guess. Just stupid on my part.
Only News 4 cameras were rolling as a possible second suspect in Officer Michael Langsdorf's death gets booked into jail. Good evening. Thank you for joining us. I'm Steve Savard.
I'm Courtney Bryant. News 4 broke the story first. We have since learned this person of interest was a passenger in the car driven by accused shooter Bonet Meeks.
News 4's Venton Blandin is here detailing what the man is telling us about the night Officer Langsdorf was killed. Vinny, what do we know?
Steve and Courtney, police will not give details on how they might have connected him to the officer's shooting death, but when I asked the man himself, he began to open up right there about what he was doing at the crime scene. News 4's camera was rolling as Kawan Smith walked into jail in St. Anne. Prepared to ask the person of interest in the shooting death investigation of North County Police Cooperative Officer Michael Langsdorf. Yes, sir, can you tell me what happened?
When?
I did not expect him to answer, but he admitted he was outside Clay's Wellston Food Market Sunday when police say Bonet Meeks shot and killed the officer.
I was in the car, but I didn't know what was going on the inside, no.
So you were there in the shooting. Did you know the officer was shot and killed?
No, I didn't. I didn't know until like a couple days later.
Smith revealed Meeks is his wife's cousin, and he and Meeks recently met.
I found some checks, and I gave them to him, and he wanted to go cash them.
News 4 obtained documents from the Missouri Department of Corrections showing Smith served time for murder and forging checks.
I didn't know that guy was going to go in there and shoot nobody. I didn't know.
I asked Smith if he understood the pain Officer Langsdorf's family, police department, and the St. Louis area community was feeling.
I'm sorry. I apologize for anything. I didn't know that was going to happen. I give you my condolence. I'm sorry, but if I can trade places with the guy, I would.
I asked Kawan Smith what made him run from that crime scene, and he did not have a clear answer.
What's next here? Is he still considered a person of interest in this case?
He is, Steve. I talked with the St. Louis County Prosecutor's Office. They would not give a comment on this, but we do know that they are looking at him for a possible connection to that.
All right, Vinny, thank you.
What did we do wrong to cause all this?
Marcin Ponder thinks so far the sewer piping project is a waste of taxpayer money.
Somebody is paying for this, what do you call it, Mickey Mouse or disaster called improvement.
MSD started the groundwork to build more than 1,700 feet of pipe underneath and around Ponder's West Ridge Lane home in January. People in 5 St. Louis County neighborhoods really noticed in May.
They had 5, 6, 8 guys, 4 or 5 construction vehicles, earth movers and what have you.
I did some digging and learned, according to MSD, work stopped June 20th because St. Anne needed to fix a problem it owns.
There's been no change in over a month.
News 4's camera was rolling Wednesday as a bulldozer moved along West Ridge Lane. Peggy Pulley wasn't too optimistic.
Not at all, and I don't like the way they've left the street and moved on.
The big deals for her are her car.
I don't want to tear my car up, and I cannot come up the street on the right-hand side like you're supposed to. I have to come up on the left-hand side because there's ditches all around here.
And backyard. She's one of more than 100 homeowners who gave MSD permission to dig.
I wished I had never signed up for them to get in my yard. I sure do.
She's concerned about water backup.
If it floods, I'm going to have a lawsuit. Then they can take that one to the bank.
News 4's Venton Blandin was walking with that group of protesters when it happened. He's been with them all night. Vinny, what can you tell us?
Courtney and Stephen, let's just hit it right off the top. They've been protesting since about 9 o'clock this morning. It's been very peaceful, no problems, outside of the fact that, they've been disrupting things. The violence was not there, but at 9:47 p.m., that's when the security officer we're walking with tonight, the photographer and myself, that's when we heard windows start to shatter. So at that point, we turned around and we looked and we saw 3 red marks on windows of a house on Westminster Plaza located near Lake Avenue. Now, back out the way, please, sir. Now, what we did, we got over there and we realized that the protesters, had said that this is the home of Mayor Lyda Cruz. And so we went up and got video. You know, we did our job, and you can see the officers are here. We went up there and got the video. The officers came. I don't even know where they came from. The helicopters were up. It was very bright, and they rushed us off the property immediately. But let me get back to the protest. This had been peaceful all day until 9:47 p.m. De'Arion Tolles was returning home from a late night at the office.
But you're blocking me?
Into my building.
Okay, and
okay.
It's my building as well, so I need you to get out my way.
Okay, what unit?
I don't need to tell you that information. So excuse me, ma'am.
I'm uncomfortable.
Excuse me. Okay, you can be uncomfortable. That's your discretion. You're uncomfortable because of you.
A tenant who lives on the 3rd floor of the Elder Shirt Lofts created a roadblock.
If you want to come into my building.
It's not your building. You're not the owner. You pay rent.
Sir, you walked up on a street.
Yes, and I've already buzzed in.
Tolles shows a fob, moves past the woman, takes an elevator to the 4th floor. The woman follows. His cell phone video shows the woman staying on him after he uses his key to enter his downtown loft.
I'm just glad I had my camera out, because if I didn't have my camera out, I feel that it could have went a totally different way.
We begin with a deadly boat disaster near the tourist haven of Branson, Missouri. 11 people are known to be dead after a tour boat capsized and then sank on Table Rock Lake during a powerful thunderstorm. Some of the victims in this boat are children.
31 people were on the boat when it went under last night. Police say 5 of them are still missing. Venton Blandin of our St. Louis affiliate KMOV is in Branson, where rescue efforts are underway again. Venton, good morning.
Good morning. We're on the shore about 1.5 miles from where that boat capsized. Passengers on another boat watched in horror as the lake swallowed the duck boat whole, along with everyone on board.
Oh, no. Yeah, look at that. They should have never came out here with them things.
No. As fierce winds whip over the lake, horrified witnesses watch a pair of duck boats struggle to stay above the crashing waves. Cell phone video from inside one boat shows the rough conditions on board. This boat made it safely to shore. But it's the other boat that sinks, captured on video moments before it capsizes.
Oh, no. God. Oh, my God. Oh, it's going under.
We have a report of a duck that has sank completely. They have lost sight of it.
Anybody that can read me, I need a rope on the bow.
Workers on the nearby showboat scrambled to help emergency crews get the 31 passengers out of the water. First responders can be seen giving first aid to children. Rescue boats and dive teams searched late into the night for survivors.
What a storm today on Table Rock.
Video shows the power of the storm as it hit the lake. Around the time the boat sank, wind gusts of 63 miles per hour were recorded nearby.
I believe it was caused by the weather, yes.
Stone County Sheriff Doug Rader says the search for survivors is not over.
And we do have some people still missing. It's going to be a challenging night and tomorrow.
Vincent Blandin for CBS News, Branson, Missouri.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Oh, it's going under.
Passengers on a nearby showboat watched in horror as Table Rock Lake overwhelmed the duck boat, along with 31 people on board.
We have a report of a duck that has sank completely. They have lost sight of it.
Anybody that can read me, I need a rope on the bow.
Dive teams searched for survivors late into the night and are back out again today.
A lot of families involved with us down here on vacation trying to enjoy time, and ends up with an incident like this.
Video from earlier in the day shows rough waters on the lake. Around the time the boat sank, thunderstorms with wind gusts of 63 miles per hour were recorded nearby. The owner of the duck boat company says nothing like this has ever happened in the company's 47-year history.
No, it shouldn't have been in the water if what happened happened.
The duck boat owner says life jackets were on board. Under law, passengers are not required to wear them. Cell phone video shows the chaotic scene on the shore after first responders helped pull people from the water.
EMTs, tell one of the EMTs.
Crews say they'll recover the boat from the bottom of the lake.
It landed, I believe, in about 40 foot of water and rolled down into 80 foot of water.
Investigators from the National Transportation Safety Board are now at the scene and will be asking, given the weather conditions, why the boat was out on the water in the first place. Vincent Blandin for CBS News, Branson, Missouri.